Good morning. And good morning to everyone at home. Please have a tissue handy because you'll want to clear your nostrils for an upcoming breathing exercise. But the title of this particular class was Minding the Body and Mending the Mind. All connected. Always remember, if you take away one thing from any class, the breath is a natural tranquilizer. And we learn a lot of different breathing exercises. And the one that we're going to be doing today will help balance the right and left hemisphere or right and left brain. We can just call it right and left brain, just to keep this clear. And between the two is something called the corpus callosum, which is just a bundle of nerves so that either side can communicate to the other. And I don't know which is stronger in men or women in terms of the corpus callosum, but we do know that we all have our strengths and we all have our weaknesses. So the left brain or hemisphere has to do with logic, linear. So it likes past, present, and future. So it can try to organize everything. And that's kind of a man thing sometimes, right? It's not necessarily male, but it can be. And it's also a way that we can manipulate. And that's a strong word, so I don't mean it in a negative sense. We all want what we want. All right? So when we remember something from the past that didn't go right, maybe in the present we'll do it differently so that we have a better future. I don't know. But our brains are doing amazing things. And then we have the right side of the brain, which is more of the creative, and it has to do with spatial organization and emotion. So we can see that sometimes is more feminine, but not necessarily, because both sides of the brain are always working together. And I think of examples like you're having a heart-to-heart conversation with someone. You want your right brain, your emotional side to be present. We also have to be logical, and then when you're driving a car, there's a sequence of events that need to take place just to even get out of the driveway. So that's left brain. But then you also need to be aware of what else is around you, and that's spatial. So these are just two examples of how our brains are working together. And when we do cross-lateral movements, which we're going to do a bunch of today, they help to get both sides of the brain active and working. So this is using the body to create the balance and the health of our brains. And I wanted to start with, because it's funny, I look at people when they're walking down the street and they're not well dressed. And even myself, I'm sure sometimes your shoulders are up around here because it's cold. And, and your neck, you're doing this to turn. So I want you to be really mindful when you do this, but this is something I learned when I was practicing with a tantric swami, and I still like the practice, so I'm going to show you. It's neck mobility, and we're going to be sitting up nice and tall, so why don't we get started with that? As I said last week, your knees should be no higher than these hip bones. If they are, find a different way, sit on something. Please elevate your butts. And if your knees are that high, you just may want to release your legs out in front. And I told you about this because if you don't honor the natural curves, your spine has been designed to have that lumbar curvature. If it's not curved, you're starting to change the shape of the bones, and eventually a herniated disc happens, and then you get bone on bone or pinched nerves. It's not a good time. I mean, there's a lot of lumbar lower back issues that I think are avoidable when we know better, and you guys do know better. So even I find if my knees are lower than my hip bones, I'm even more comfortable. So find yourself, and if sitting on the floor doesn't work, please, there are chairs, or if you're at home, get a chair, sit up nice and tall, usually elevating your butt, and then bringing your sits bones the edge of your cheeks to the edge of whatever you're sitting on. This makes a big difference in terms of allowing the rotation of your pelvis and your femur bones in your hip joint. Okay, so I just want to show you this, and I won't be doing, I'm gonna go quickly twice to the left, quickly twice to the right, 2 oblique to the left, 2 oblique to the right, and 1 to the back. So sitting up nice and tall, try to relax your shoulders. Your core doesn't have to be really tight, but you want some engagement for your core. It's required for us to sit up straight, and it's just a good exercise anyway. So you're turning your head twice to the left, twice to the right, obliquely twice back to the left, obliquely twice back to the right, and then 1 time back. So do this whatever speed feels comfortable for you. And if this exercise is not feeling right for you, then just sit up tall, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. And maybe you want to make circles. I don't know, but go ahead. So 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 2 oblique back to the left, 2 oblique right to the left, and back. Whatever speed feels right, can be super slow. And finish up the last round that you're starting. And then come back into a neutral position. And inhale the shoulders up to the ears, exhale and roll them back and pull your armpits down. Now you may even feel this, because again, we're so used to our shoulders being somewhere in between what would be relaxed and what would be stressed. So roll the shoulders up again to the ears, exhale, push them back and pull your armpits down. You may feel this across the front of your chest. Just notice it. And then next up, and I will do the mirror image, inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. So this would be cross lateral. We are going to turn to the left, bringing the right arm down onto the left knee and the other arm just tented or spider fingers behind you. And inhaling in place, exhale, come back to the center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, other side. Keep your spine nice and long. Placing opposite hand on knee. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, come back to the center. Let's do this again on the first side, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, keep the length in your spine, twisting whatever amount you can. Breathing, inhaling. Exhale, back to the center. One more time on the second side, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, release your hands down. And come back to the center. Now, this is something out of Mind Gym. Ready? You're going to take your thumb of one hand, doesn't matter which one, and you're going to take the baby finger of the other hand, and you're going to bring them together. Then you're going to change other thumb to other baby finger. And you're going to come back to the first one. And you're going to do this quickly. So you're just bringing opposite thumb to baby finger. You can, listen, if you can't do it fast, do it slow. So thumb, baby finger to your thumb. Ready? Opposite thumb, opposite baby finger. Now I practiced this already, so maybe that's not going to be, but this is helping to balance your right and left hemisphere. And it's no big deal. Okay? Give your hands a shake out. So now if you need to release your legs, we are going to practice Nadi Shodhana. So basically, and this is where I wanted you to have a tissue handy. So maybe just give your nose a little blow. Okay? Find out if there's anything in there. Okay. Now, throughout the day, we are dominant in one nostril and then the other one. If we're dominant in the right nostril, for example, so this is my right nostril, then the left side of my brain, the logic side, is going to be more active, right? If we're more dominant in the left nostril, because it's across to the other hemisphere, then we're going to be perhaps more emotional. Now, so this is just an interesting exercise. So just block your nose somewhere between where your cartilage is in your nose and the flesh. You don't block really hard. And just exhale through one nostril. And then check the other nostril. So one is freer than the other. One is more clogged or blocked. And sometimes they're even. That's when they're switching over. Now, just out of curiosity, who is more blocked or less free in the right nostril? And then who is more free, less clogged in the left nostril? I'm not, and some of you are even? Okay. Well, there you go. There's no right, there's no wrong, but the exercise that we're doing now, Nadi Shodhana normally is done to purify the nadis, which are the energy channels through the body. But we're doing it to balance the left and right hemisphere of the brain. Okay? It's a beautiful, calming, tranquilizing. Remember I said the breath is your natural tranquilizer. I've never taken a tranquilizer, so I can't compare. Well, maybe I have, I don't remember. I don't know, does peyote count as a tranquilizer? I don't know. Anyway, okay, so here we go. You're going to take your right thumb, you're going to take your peace fingers and fold them into your palm, and then you're going to use your ring finger. So you're going to use your ring finger and your thumbs to block your nostrils. So just get your hands okay, and then just as a trial here, blocking the right nostril, and then with your ring finger, block the left nostril, and then lower your hand, close your eyes. As I said, if you need to just give your legs a little bit of a shake out before we get started, go for that, or at any point if you need to. But keep this hand position. You're just going to use your right hand, although if you're left-handed and it feels more comfortable, that's fine too. Doesn't matter. But most of us being right-handed, I hope we can all be on that side, because I'm going to tell you how we're doing this. So many of you already know, you've done it before. Inhaling in place and exhale, sitting up nice and tall, relax your shoulders. One more inhale and exhale. You're going to block your right nostril and you're going to inhale through the left. Block the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Block the right, exhale left. Inhale left. Block, exhale right. Inhale right. Block, exhale left. Inhaling left. Block, exhale right. Inhale right. Block, exhale left. Inhale left. block, exhale right, and lower your hand. And just breathe normally. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll just do one more short round. Block your right nostril. Inhale through the left. Block the left. Exhale right. Inhaling right. Block, exhale left. Inhale left. Block, exhale right. Inhale right. Block, exhale left. Inhaling left. Block, exhale right. And that will do. So remove whatever you're sitting on. Come on onto your backs. Remember, taking a sip of water whenever you feel inclined. Coming down onto your backs, draw your knees in towards your chest. A little bit of rocking on your sacrum. And then let's take the arms out to the side, shoulder height. Keep your knees, your thighs, your calves zipped up. Inhaling in place, exhale, dropping both knees over towards the left. Keep your right shoulder on the floor. So maybe you're not going to go that far, but you're going to feel your core begin to work. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale. Keep your knees together, lower them to the right, keeping your left shoulder on the mat. Feel your core activated. Inhale, back to the center. One more time. Zipping up between the legs, keeping your knees, your legs at right angles to each other with the bent knee. Exhaling, lower to the left. Keeping your right shoulder on the mat. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, both knees over to the right. Notice if you went a little bit further, it doesn't take much to increase mobility in the low back. And now, once again, take your hands onto your knees. Let's extend the left leg straight down in front. And with your left hand on the outside of your right knee, take it across your body. Again, you can keep your opposite right shoulder on the mat, or if you prefer, you can roll over onto your left hip. I'm just thinking about people, including myself, who did some serious snow shoveling, and I felt it in my hips and in my shoulders. So I'm practicing respect and compassion for my body, which is something we should do and consider, whether it's snow shoveling, whether it's eating, no matter what, how we're sitting. Interesting too, when it comes to cross-lateral movement, walking, biking, stair climbing, cross-country skiing, these are all cross-lateral movements. Sitting at a desk is not. So breathing into that right hip. Now, the thing is, when we're sitting at a desk, of course, we can always do some of that cross-lateral movement by twisting our spines, from time to time, or getting up, stretching, and coming back to the center. Bring that right knee in, bring the left knee in, extend your right leg straight down in front, and bring your right hand to the outside of your left knee. So you've got your opposite hand to opposite knee. Cross lateral training also helps to balance your right and left brain. Minding the body to mend the brain. So again, it's your choice. You can keep the opposite shoulder on your mat, or if you prefer to twist a little bit more, but now the other thing too is if you're not feeling it in your hip, bring your knee closer or higher up towards your shoulder. You'll feel more. Please don't do too much and don't do too little. And that will do. Coming back into the center, into bridge pose. Placing the soles of your feet flat on the mat. Lift your shoulder blades up, tuck them under your heart center. Your arms are right beside your body with your palms facing down. Walk your feet a little bit closer so that your heels are closer to your butt and they are aligned with your sits bones, okay? So that your knees are about a solid, good fist width apart, 5 or 6 inches. Press the small of your back into the floor, peel your spine off the floor. Now, I want you to lift your right arm up into the air and take your left arm up and over behind your head. So it doesn't matter if you've got different arms up, but one arm is straight up and the other arm, in my case, the left arm is behind the head. And then let's change. Let's take one arm back behind the head and the other one straight up. Perhaps you can press your hips up a little bit higher. Let's change again. One arm straight up, one behind your head. And last time, one arm straight up, one over behind the head. And both arms up and both arms down beside your body, and then slowly bring your torso down onto the mat. And once again, bring the knees up in towards the chest and do a little rocking from side to side. And now you're either going to roll over onto your side, or if you wish, you can take your hands underneath the backs of your knees and rock up and come on over onto all fours. And coming onto all fours, remember a knee pad if you need it, or double your mat over. Bird dog. Perfect example again of cross lateral. Send your right leg out straight behind you and left arm. Reaching opposite arm and leg away from your core. Of course, a little bit of balance here. Breathe. Try not to sink into your wrist here. Activate your arm, activate your shoulder and your chest on the right side, and release. Let's take that right arm, sweep it up. Right arm, sweep it up. We're going to thread the needle. Take it under the other arm, releasing your forehead. Now, if you feel like you have too much weight on your head, take your hips further back towards your heels. And come back. On all fours, you're going to take your left leg or the other one you didn't send out before, opposite arm, bird dog. Again, you're holding yourself up with one arm. Try not to sink into that wrist. Last week we worked on wrists. So keeping the muscles of the arm active, the shoulder alive and active, and your chest as well. Focus your gaze. Your neck should be aligned with your spine. Engage your core by pulling your bellies in. And release. So now you're going to take the opposite arm, the left arm, sweep it up, and thread the needle. And come back up. Let's take either puppy pose. So if you don't like to bend your knees so much, you're going to keep your bum up in the air and just lower your forehead or create a pillow or use a pillow. Or the modified child's pose, which lengthens your spine, quiets your mind. So knees are as wide as your mat, tops of feet are flat, big toes are touching, and you're slowly taking your heels back to your hips back towards your heels and releasing your forehead either on the mat or creating height using a pillow, a cushion, or folded forearms under your forehead. And inhale, draw your knees together, curl your toes under. Oh, we haven't done this in a while. Let's sit back on our heels a little bit, or maybe not much at all. This is Philip's favorite. No, I can tell I haven't done this in a while. Okay, that will do. All right. Oh, roll back onto the soles of your feet. Keep your knees soft. Okay, just let your upper body hang. Remember, this is the lazy man's traction. It's great for your lower back. It's also great to get extra blood flow into the head brain region. Let's straighten the right leg. Okay, straighten the right leg, bend the left. You're going to place your right hand on your left instep. Boy, we have to use our brains to even think about this, huh? And then lift the opposite arm straight up. So your right hand is on your left instep and your left leg is slightly bent. It'll be easier on the other side. You're just going to reverse it. Okay, let's bend the other leg. Bring the opposite hand on top of the instep and sweep your other arm up. And release your hands down. Keep your knees soft. Let your head hang. Slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time, and let your head be the last thing to come up. And then inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, roll them back. And if anybody needs to move because the sun is shining on you, then please do that. Okay, we're going to do a simple balance exercise.
They might be stories he learned from talking with Inuit.
If you aren't sure and you want support, just move yourself towards something that you can support yourself with. So, come on to the ball of the right foot and lift your left knee up. Now, for balanced postures, you focus your gaze somewhere on the floor, and then you're going to put your opposite hand on top of that knee.
Art was a way for him
opposite hand.
Anger he found himself consumed by and channel it into art. He says at one point he watched the anger just disappear.
And that will do. Give that standing leg a shake out. You guys are going to be so smart after this class. I'm going to call you with all my problems. Starting with computers or iPhones. Okay, so see what happens on the other side, placing opposite hand. Okay, and balance increases our mind's ability to focus. Okay, so we're going to do kind of a little version of sun salutations that I just made up. Not just this moment, but earlier. I wonder, what's tech guy doing? Is he snoozing? Liz is checking. He's on the floor, right? Oh, there he is. Oh, he's on the couch. Hey, tech guy, just thinking about this yoo-hoo here, maybe. Yeah, you know, it could be a bit bright. I don't want to be blinded. Okay, come on up to the fronts of your mats. Thank you very much. Okay, inhaling in place, exhale, hands in prayer. You know what? You might want to do another one too for Gwynnie. She's getting blown out. Okay, take your feet apart, reach up, look up, arcing back, lengthening, looking up at the blue sky. And then inhale, bring your feet back together. Exhale, forward fold, let your heads hang. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, slide your hands down the front of your shins. Bend your knees. We're going to come into horseman's pose, Utkatasana. So you're transferring weight in towards the back of your foot. Sweeping the arms up like you're sitting in a chair, riding a horse. Exhale, forward fold. Fingertips are on the floor here. You're going to step your left leg back, one leg length. And I'd like you to organize your feet before we come up. So your front right foot is 90 degrees forward, your back foot about 30 degrees, and there's an invisible line from the heel of your front foot through the arch of your back foot. And then windmill your arms up and come on up into warrior two. Now, if you lean forward a little bit, you'll notice how much torque there is on your torso. So bring your torso right back to the center and notice how much better it feels.
1974, which is
pressing into the outside of your back foot will be the anchor of this posture. Lower your back arm, down your back leg, reach the other arm up. The energy is up, you're looking up, you're stretching up, you're reaching up. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, let's come up into exalted peaceful warriors again. Stretch up, exhale, one more time, warrior two. Last time, reaching up. And now, You're going to bend that front knee. You're going to come onto the ball of the back foot. Most of us should probably start with the back knee on the floor to do our sideways prayer. Another beautiful cross lateral movement. So you've got your left elbow outside of your right knee. Other hand on top, you've got a mirror image with your arms. You're going to focus your gaze down on the floor in front of you and lift your back knee off the floor. If that's too much or too hard, keep that bottom knee on the floor. You can still get a great cross-lateral movement. Keep pressing through the heel of your back foot. Bring your fingertips to the floor and then turn sideways on your mat, turning your feet just slightly out. We're going to bring the arms shoulder height. You're going to take your left hand over to your right foot, twisting, turning, and reaching the opposite arm up. Exhale, come back to your arm shoulder height. And inhaling, take the opposite hand over towards the opposite foot, reaching the other arm up. Coming back into the center. And now you're going to rotate so that your left foot is pointing towards the back of your mat and your right foot is 30 degrees forward. You've got that straight line from the heel of your front foot. You're bending over so you can look. You can see, bend your front knee, windmill your arms up, coming into warrior two. You're pressing into the outside of that back foot. You should feel this in your inner thigh, adductor muscle. And then lower your back arm, down your back leg, reaching up into exalted warriors. If you're a little wobbly, you're working all kinds of teeny tiny little muscles, giving them some love. These are the things we need when we're slipping and sliding around in the slush and the snow and the ice. Bring it back into warrior two. Lifting up at your sternum, lower your shoulders, lengthen your neck, keep your torso right over your hips. And again, releasing that back arm down your back leg. Stretching up with your front arm. And back into warrior two. And one more time, exalted, peaceful warriors. Stretching up, feel that stretch through the hip, through the waist, through the rib cage. And back to warrior two. And then lower your arms, step that front foot forward. Front foot forward, so bring yourself back towards, maybe turn around and come back to the front of your mat. Inhaling in place, exhale, hands in prayer. Step your feet apart, reach up, look up, arcing back. Blue skies are here for the day. Inhale, bring your feet back together, lift up out of your waist, hinge forward, reaching forward, lengthening. Let your heads hang. Inhale, come halfway up, placing your hands on your shins, tabletop your spine, pull your bellies in, lengthening from tailbone right through the crown. Exhale, forward fold. And then bend your knees. One more, horseman's pose. Inhale, reaching up. Make sure you can see your toes in front of your knees. So take your weight into the back of your foot. You've still got some in the front. Bend your knees a lot. Sink your hips as much as you can. You'll have new appreciation for a lot of the athletes at the Winter Olympics, especially the speed skaters, my God. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up, tabletop your spine. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor, step your feet back, coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Let's give our heads a little bit of a shake, gentle, and then let's walk the dog. One leg is straight, one leg is bent. Feeling the stretch in the back of your legs. Changing. And change again. And evenly, let's lift the right leg up, tip it over to the left. Perhaps looking under your left armpit, if you can see your foot. And back down. Other leg up. And take it over to the other side. And back. Come on down onto your knees and come down onto your bellies. Take a sip of water, as I said, whenever you need. Okay. Arms beside the body, forehead on the mat. Flatten the tops of your feet. Palms are facing up. Roll an invisible alley with your nose. On an inhale, lift your head up. Lift your legs, lift your arms. Salabhasana. Locust pose. Now bring your right arm in front. Keep the left arm back. And bring it back. And lower your head. Turn your head either side. Just remember what side you're turning it to, because you'll turn it to the other side afterwards. And breathe. So back bends, cardiovascularly demanding. Increasing the circulation to your skeletal muscles, your large skeletal muscles. Bring your head back to the center. Again, arms are beside your body with your palms facing up. Tops of your feet are flat on the floor. Roll an invisible alley with your nose, lengthening your neck, looking down at your mat. On an inhale, lift your head, neck, arms, and legs coming up. And then you're going to take your left arm straight out in front. So one arm's pointing to the front, one arm back. And release. Turn your head to the opposite side. Big toes touch. Heels splay out. And let your shoulders melt. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And let's press up to a seated posture. We're going to do one more twist before we do a little inversion, because it's so nourishing for both your brain and your nervous system. Okay, so bring your legs in front. Bang out the backs of your knees, sitting up nice and tall. Pull the flesh away from your sits bones. And maybe take your thigh one at a time and bring the flesh to the inside of your leg. So you're actually taking it, and you're going like this. You're taking the flesh and rolling it in. Pick up the other one.
I don't have
Just
to.
something happens here to help you release lower back. Take your left foot, place it outside of your right knee. Interlock your fingers 2 inches below your knee and pull your torso towards your bent knee. Flex the foot of the straight leg, sit up nice and tall. And then you're going to take your, I'm doing the mirror image. Am I doing the mirror image for you guys? I am. So that would be my right arm. I'm either going to wrap it around or I'm going to bring it outside, whatever's available. And then the other hand behind you props you up, keeping your spine long and tall. So be mindful, choose whatever position offers respect and compassion for your shoulders today. And breathe. Keep flexing the foot of the straight leg. Inhale to reach up through the crown of your heads. Exhale, maybe twisting a little more or not. Huge benefits in twist positions. Basically today we are focusing on harmonizing the right and left sides of the brain. So the left being cool and calm, the right side being a little more heat and creative. Left referring more sometimes to masculine, because remember, the left side of the brain controls the right side of the body, and the right side of the brain controls the left side of the body, but they do work together. And releasing, counter twist to the other side. And come back to the center. And then bang out the backs of your knees. Let's take the other foot, place it outside of your knee, flat on the floor. Opposite foot, interlock your fingers 2 inches below your knee, pull your torso straight up. If you can, right up against your thigh. Flex the foot of the straight leg. Again, you're going to bring your left arm or elbow either outside of the knee or wrap it around, holding it however works best for you today. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Even if you're already at your max, just the thought of it can be enough to take you to 90% of the posture, not 100%. You're a fine instrument. You don't want to break the strings or anything. Inhale, reaching up through the crown. Exhale, holding the twist with the length of your spine. And one more breath in. Exhale, release, counter twist to the other side. And come back to the center. And now, I know lots of people aren't crazy about inversions or don't feel like you want to do one today. So the other option to the inversion is always to place a cushion underneath your sacrum and just get your legs up in the air. That's it. It's a simple inversion. It's calming. It's relaxing. Those of you who are wanting to try the fuller expression of an inversion, we're going to do shoulder stand into halasana, plow pose, and a little bit of, again, the cross lateral movements. Only do what feels respectful for you today. Okay, so either you have something underneath your sacrum right now and you're lifting your legs up in the air, you can just hang there. You can move your legs around if you like. The rest of us, your knees are bent, your feet are flat on the floor, your arms are beside your body. You're lifting your legs up and over behind your head. You're supporting your hips and just getting used to being in an inversion. And then drop, you can stay here in a half shoulder stand, Ardha Chaturvasana, or lower your knees towards your forehead. Move your hands closer to your waist. And then straighten your legs. Lowering the left leg down towards the floor. Back up. Right leg lowers over behind your head towards the floor. And back up. Bent knees, both of them over towards your left ear, the left side of your head. Back up. And right, bent knees to the right side of your head. And back up. Take your legs wide apart. And lower your legs down over behind your head in plow pose, halasana. Let it be organic, no forcing. And back up, wide leg, shoulder stand. And back down. And back up. And bring your legs together. And if you can hold another minute, but if you feel you need to come out, please do so. When you're coming out, lower your legs down over behind your head. Release your hands to the floor, and with as much control as you can, slowly releasing your body all the way back down. Bring the knees into the chest. Have your knees wide apart, one hand on each knee. Rolling from side to side. Keep your feet wide, knees bent, and lower your feet to the outsides of your mat. Arms out at the side. Inhaling in place, exhale, drop both knees over to the left, head to the right. Inhaling, knees to the center, feet are stationary. Exhale, both knees over to the other side, and perhaps turn your head to the opposite side. Again, this is cross-lateral movement to help harmonize the energies and faculties of your right and left hemisphere, right, left brain. Inhale, come back to center, and then send your legs straight down in front. Although if you wish to practice Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of the feet together with your knees splayed out, whatever feels comfortable for you to spend your last few minutes. Eyes are closed. Separate the biting surfaces of the teeth. Relax the jaw. Letting your body be soft and heavy. Drawing your attention and your awareness to the breath, neither manipulating it or controlling it, just let it be. Shavasana ranks as one of the most important yoga asanas or postures. This is the opportunity for the body to absorb and integrate the benefits of what you have just done. Obviously, it's a very grounding, calming, as well as opening position. As I name the body part, mentally locate it, commanding it to relax 3 times silently with no movement. Feet, calves, thighs, hips and pelvis, abdomen, diaphragm, chest, collarbones and shoulders, arms and forearms, hands and fingers, backs of thighs, buttocks, lower back, middle back, adrenals and kidneys, upper back and shoulders, neck, jaw, lips and tongue, eyelids and eyeballs, forehead, scalp. Breathing in through your nose, exhaling either through nose or mouth. But as much as possible, we always inhale through the nostrils to warm, purify, and humidify the air that goes into the lungs, all the way down to the bottom where the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide take place in the alveoli, where the blood drops off the carbon dioxide and retrieves more oxygen to spread throughout the body. It's a complicated process for the body, but it's simple awareness on our part to maintain a calm and alert state of being. Noticing how your body feels, as well as your mind, your nervous system. Just mindfully, there's no judgment, there's no right or wrong. It's just present moment awareness. And when we learn to check in with our bodies, practicing this present moment awareness called mindfulness, we can be so much more aware about how we go through our days, being careful when we're walking, considering the impact of all of our actions, whether we think they only impact us, but likely our actions are impacting many. Awareness is the first step to improving, to growing, to evolving, and me to have more gratitude and joy in day-to-day activities. Inhaling the life force long, full, and deep. And deep. Exhaling. Once again, inhaling long, full, and deep. And deep. Exhaling. Rolling over onto your side, using your top arm to press yourself back up into a seated position. And just before we close our practice, I have a quote here from the Venerable Winston Churchill. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. Okay, let's close our practice today by chanting Om once. You can do it with sound or without. Both are powerful. Inhaling together. Om Shanti, peace, namaste. Now, just think